It's all over the place. Everyone is talking about it. But how much do you know about IVF? IVF is in vitro fertilization. It's a method of fertilization where the egg and the sperm are married outside of the body. At what point in a woman's life does she require or does she reach out for IVF? IVF, in case you don't already know, is assisted conception, when a woman has not been able to get pregnant naturally. Sometimes, some women, some couples reach out for medical assistance through assisted conception, known as IVF. Welcome to Wellness and Living. My name is Velma Obase. Our focus today is on IVF. If you have been keeping up with the program Wellness and Living, we have been talking with Dr. Ibrahim Wada. He spoke about lifestyle and diet, lifestyle and social habits, lifestyle and infertility. And we're coming to the climax. We'll talk about lifestyle, infertility, and IVF. First, let's come out and talk with you.
Personally, if I'm unable to conceive, I will go for it because I want to have a child of my own. IVF is good because it's equally your blood, the both purpose blood has been used to run it.
Personally, no, I will not, because of my relationship. Because God promised us that He will bless us. I will be a blessing too. So I will not really, I'm not desperate for that.
God gave them knowledge to have come up with that solution for those who naturally cannot have their own children. So I don't see anything wrong in going for it. And if I do not have my own children, though I do have, but if, for instance, I do not have, and I can afford it, I will.
I'm already a mother, but my advice to those that are looking for fruit of womb, if they have prayed, they have tried, instead of wasting time, because everything has time. If they have the money to do it, it's not a bad thing. They can go for it. And it's God that make that IVF to come in a good way. If God not assign it, it will not work. But once God assigned it, they did it, it will work for them.
I don't think it's necessary for me to go for IVF because I've had the number of children I want to have, and there wouldn't be a need for me to go for IVF again. Like God says, there's a time for everything. My advice is that they should wait. But for those who are impatient, they can go for IVF. Because those who are not too impatient and want to wait on God, they should please wait.
Yeah, the advice is for them to believe God and go for IVF. IVF is an alternative for them. It's good. It has a new technology that is in place. And the baby being conceived is equally the person's blood and flesh. So there's no much difference.
They should trust in God, believing that children comes from God. No man can make children. They come from God. True. They should take advantage of the medical section. We have medical people who can go, place them on tests. They should make themselves available for those tests and not go for these fetish things to say, go and drink this, go and drink the other one. That will give you the solution. They should go for the medical test. And then if the IVF is probably their last resort and they can afford it, let them go for it.
They don't do it free. They pay before they do it. So if government to bring the price down so that the people that in that condition can afford to pay, it's a good idea.
Scenic environment, wonderful sunny weather, getting loads of vitamin D. It's hard to imagine that there are difficulties in the world, and indeed there are. I have quite a few myself, as do you and everyone else. But in spite of whatever challenge you do face, success starts from never letting hope die. Whether you're trying to conceive a child naturally or getting assisted conception, keep hope alive. And whatever result you come out with at the end of the day, keep hope alive. IVF, also known as in vitro fertilization. This is a medical procedure that many couples and individuals turn to when they have fertility issues. In fact, research shows that 1 in 6 couples will need some form of fertility assistance in their lifetime. While there are treatment options other than IVF, such as ovulation induction and intrauterine insemination, IVF is certainly the most talked about of these options. Like all great options, some say it has a few demerits. One of such is that success is not guaranteed, and of those who do become pregnant, not all of the pregnancies will result in a baby. Another documented disadvantage of in vitro fertilization is that because the process involves an operative procedure, there are associated risks of infection, anesthetic risks, and hemorrhage. Another risk of IVF is ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, OHSS, a risk that can occur where the ovaries are stimulated through use of medications. They make multiple eggs. In addition, IVF can make multiple eggs and result in multiple pregnancies, and some may consider this a disadvantage. In vitro fertilization can be quite an expensive medical procedure, and if one does not plan well ahead for it, it may be difficult to complete and succeed in this process. An average in vitro fertilization cycle takes about 6 to 8 weeks from consultation to transfer. But depending on the specific circumstances of each of the patients, the path can be different. It's always very interesting to listen to your views. I'm also learning from you. I don't quite get it. Perhaps I'm wrong. But growing up, there was hardly anyone I knew who was finding it difficult to have a child. Or didn't I pay attention? Was I not focused on the happenings around me? Do you have the same experience? Perhaps that's why Dr. Ibrahim Wada says that our lifestyle can and does affect fertility for the man and for the woman. He goes on to say that some couples wait until it becomes very difficult even to get assisted conception. He says medical science is not magic, that the human body must contribute to the assistance so that everyone gets the result that they desire. We'll learn more from him.
The clear-cut guide as to when will IVF be the most relevant treatment, it has been wishy-washy. There was no clear guide, and people have waited. By the time they come, it's almost too late. So doctors in NISA decided to design a program, which is now on the internet, for an app for people who are suffering the problem of infertility, to interrogate that program tell them clearly, do I need IVF or I don't need IVF? I can still wait. And it's been accepted, our paper for this, called Fertile Score. It's been accepted for publication by the Tropical Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Everybody feeling their own special circumstances, and automatically a score will be sent to them by this program, and a guidance as to what help do they need. Doctors can use it, but it's designed essentially for the affected people to say, how old are you, how long have you been infertile, what are the tests concerning your sperm showing, your tube, your womb, your this. By the time the computer adds all your responses, it will tell you you've got a score of this, you don't need IVF. Or call me back in 6 months and let's see. Or you go immediately, your case is the one that needs IVF. There are many, many other ways before IVF, and that's where the confusion is. Even as you were saying, stress and counseling, explaining to people alone the timing of their ovulation so that the time to meet with their husband in an uncompromising way is so and so time, is still medical assistance. Because some men travel a lot, pastors and all that, they are in this city, they are in that city, whereas the woman has only 1 day in a month to be fertile. Timing of intercourse is the way. Lifestyle changes, weight reduction, all sorts of avoid this, avoid that, they come in too. Ultimately, there's something called artificial insemination, which is not IVF, so we can also use that. Majority of people, even tablets alone, can help certain people. So there's a whole gamut of things to do ever before the final bus stop, which is IVF. Well, IVF is where a woman tries to get pregnant by getting her egg fertilized outside the body first before being planted back in her womb. I think that's another way of defining it. The issue about IVF is a woman goes through medications generally so that doctors can pick out many eggs out of her, not by any major kind of operation, very minor, come and go kind of needle aspiration rather than surgery. And then the husband provides his sperm and is added to the eggs. The mere fact that this event is happening outside the body is the in vitro, IVF, in vitro fertilization. Almost like we're planting a seed in the soil so that the grace of God will make it germinate into a new life, your baby. 9 months later you have. This is a simple way of putting it. The reality is much more complex than that. Outside the body fertilization means doctors and scientists must try to create conditions that look like what the Almighty God has done in your fallopian tube and put it outside the body. And so it's such a great innovation by 2 scientists and doctors in England 40-something years ago. No, the doctors that practice IVF are gunning for 1 baby. They tend to plant 2 or sometimes 3. So that, because you're not sure who is God going to accept out of this seed. So when you are taking a chance, it's like a gamble. Let me put 2 in this, or let me put 3 in this. In more advanced societies now, they are limited to just putting 1 embryo in, because the rest can be preserved, frozen, and as you come and go, they put 1. These are societies where money is not an issue. So our own fertility association in Nigeria, called AFRH, has decreed a maximum of 3. Minimum of 1, maximum of 3. To avoid too many triplets, which have their complications, too many twins, which also have their complications. Because people like, IVF baby is not a baby or something. We start by saying the sperm, no man can make a sperm, not yet. The egg, no man can still make an egg yet. When you put them together, the language they speak before they become one, no man has fully understood this language. You can't force them. And when you make that being, new human, how it divides and forms his nose and eyes, who are you to understand it? So it's still God's work. It's the same, your baby, made by the Almighty God, not the doctors themselves. They're just assisting. They are a vehicle to make things happen sooner because nature is taking longer to do it, or there's a block in the path of nature's way. So I want to appeal to people to see it as God's work. Yes, once we generate the seeds, we call them embryos, and we are able to plant. We are like any other farmer that has planted maize or granules. What can he do? Maybe water it, but you can't go into the ground and say you must germinate. Who is he? So, I mean, that helps our people because, yes, they pray, they do night vigils, they do dry fasting for God to do his own work. Even where doctors are involved, it's none other than God that's doing the work. Yeah? And I say it again and again. If you are in a particular situation that IVF is recommended to you, go for it. It's God's doing. He gave the knowledge to man. And honestly, everything, every stage of it, he cannot go to the next stage without him. So let the people not suffer in silence. As they pray, but they must do something, and the prayer will be, let this thing work for me.
Medical professionals say that exercise is good. And aside from being good, it has become a requirement for longevity and for great health. There are different types of exercises that everyone can do at every age and every step of our lives. There's no gainsaying that exercise, regular exercises that is, improves life quality in different ways. Whenever you start, however you start, the best decision you can make is to exercise. And there are so many benefits that researchers have documented. And for those who exercise regularly, this is something that many agree with. There are different exercises that we can do. Some run, some jog, some do indoor and outdoor exercises. There are physical and mental benefits of exercise. Research says that exercise makes you happy. Exercise improves your mood and decreases feelings of depression, anxiety, and stress. Also, exercise helps you shed weight. For those who are obese, for those who are fat, and who want to shed weight, exercise is one of the best mediums that you can use. Of course, it works better when you also eat healthy and diet. Exercise is known to be good for your muscles and bones. Exercise increases your energy levels. When you work out regularly, you find that you can be more productive. You don't get tired easily. You wake up early and you can go to bed after dusk, having performed all your tasks for that day, and you are the happier for it. Exercise reduces your risk of chronic disease. When you work out regularly, you prevent an attack of diseases because you are not leading a sedentary lifestyle where you're sitting down most of the time or lying down for the most part of the day. When you exercise, you are more energetic, you are more strengthened, and that way you are often on the move. Exercise improves brain health and memory. Exercise helps with relaxation and improves sleep quality and duration. Research also shows that, for example, if you want to work out your arm, upper arm or lower arm, you need to do arm exercises. If you want to work on your midriff and get a six-pack, you must include sit-ups, jumping jacks, jump squats, and regular squats in your regimen. If you want to shed weight, brisk walks, jogging, running, using the treadmill are exciting ways to shed weight. And for those who want to just maintain fitness and wellness, 3 to 4 times a week of 10 to 15 minute workout regimen is ideal. At the end of the day, exercise is good. When you work out with family and friends, you can build a support system and build a regimen. You can start by working out for 5 minutes every day and gradually improve this to 3 to 4 times every week. You move that 5 minutes to 10 minutes. What is important is that you promote your longevity. You improve your good health. You are able to set goals and objectives and succeed at them. You are healthy and you look good all the time. Get the best medical assistance, get the best medical information, especially if you're having delays in conceiving naturally. You have a right to enjoy life. While you are here, that is. Do everything possible to ensure you get the best out of life, so that life in turn can give you exactly what you deserve and what you reach out to achieve. We've been talking about in vitro fertilization. Go for medical assistance if you think you need it. Go get more medical information, do your research. Know the why, know the how, know the what, and know the who that's going to help you. Thank you for keeping our company on Wellness and Living. Go right now and continue the conversation on our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. And I leave you with this love quote. Sometimes we have to try to achieve something more than once to succeed at it. And who knows when you'll be successful. Never, ever give up. I'm Thelma Obaze. I'd love to do this with you again very soon. Until then, stay fabulous, stay happy, and never, ever stop dreaming. Bye.